Okay, good morning to everyone who are joining us today. Welcome to all school students, teachers, parents from all around Malaysia, not forgetting all UMS students and all UMS staff present in this session today. I am Sandra Yuson and I will be your moderator for today. Thank you, and we meet again for today's session of STEM Speaker Series. For those who join us for the first time, this STEM Speaker Series is a conjoint effort with the Faculty of Psychology and Education, University Malaysia Sabah, that is aimed to deliver unique and interesting STEM topics designed by the subject matters expert in order to increase the interest of school students, teachers, and community alike to venture in the field of STEM. For any question from the audience today, please feel free to drop your questions on the chat box at the right side of this YouTube live session. Please be informed that for today's session, e-certificate will be given to school students and UMS students, but must fill in the form through a QR code which will be shared at the end of the program. So please stay tuned with us. With us today is Associated Professor Dr. Balan Rathakrishnan from Faculty of Psychology and Education, University Malaysia Sabah. He is a Prof. Madya in Faculty of Psychology and Education UMS with a degree holder, master and PhD in psychological field, graduated from UKM. Dr. Balan Rathakrishnan is an expert in youth psychology and community development, and his research are mainly focusing on youth intervention, creativity, students' motivation, positive psychology, as well as mental health and stress. He won a World Inventor Award from the Korea in 2013, and now he is a Deputy Dean in Research and Innovation for Youth Development and Community Program in Faculty of Psychology and Education. So, without further ado, please welcome Associated Professor Dr. Balan Rathakrishnan with his topic, Using STEM in Learning Mental Health Among Youth. Doctor, please be invited.
Thank you so much, Sandra, for the MSTEM Ambassador, University Malaysia Sabah. A very good morning and salam sejahtera to all the participants who are joined today morning. Thank you so much. And I think this is it's a good platform for us to meet all the students, teachers, and also some of the lecturers from the other side of the Sabah. And it's a big pleasure for me to talk, discuss on the mental health. And of course, a lot of people been asking how this STEM, which can be integrated and discuss on the mental health issues. When I think some of the students, if we are in online, you maybe can check to me also because I like more interactive, and I want your feedback related on this topic on mental health. And definitely, when you see, this is my name, Associate Professor Dr. Balan from Faculty of Psychology, which Sandra have given. If you can see this picture, definitely you have some idea. And now this is pandemic, and now we are going through endemic. And you can see this picture, and all of us, some of us, and many of the students, when we call ourselves as a student or lecturer, definitely laptops and books are always with that, with you, and all the time. And you can see, we in a way we are struggling. In a way we are struggling to study, and now we have issues of internet, and a lot of research been doing on this, how students can manage, how students can study well with these online classes, and even not online classes, face to face also. We have some kind of issues that all of us need to understand what exactly the situation that we are going through. Some of us are very happy because some of you would like to do this, so you're happy. Some of you are not happy because you feel very exhausted. Because online classes, you cannot meet your friends, you cannot meet your teacher, you cannot go to the canteen, you cannot talk to your buddies. So definitely there will be a pro and cons. And some people, those are very homely type students, they really live, because these 1.5 years, they don't need to go to anywhere. They can just stay at home. They can study well. They can perform well. And you see, some of the grade of students are increased, especially on this pandemic. So we can, that is also, even people saying about happy, not happy, but the output of different students are differ. I cannot say, oh, Balan, you can study well, you are happy because you get a good grade. And some of students are just at home, they study well, they got a good grade. Some of them don't get a good grade and still sad. So different people carry different way of the situation. Different people carry or look situation in a different way. And that's how, when you look into the why we discuss on this mental health. When I said about mental health, we as an individual, psychologically, we have three main components. Number one is our mind. How do we think? And that is also science. And that's why we relate science and mental health. And we also related another issue. Later, we will go deeper, which is emotional. Whether I'm sad, happy, excited, and all that. And the third one we call as a component of behavior. So when I said about one individual, one student, how they think, how they look into their emotional, and how they behave in that situation. So it's basically a science, because we are human being. We cannot avoid all these components. If you can see this picture, you can see the picture. What are the component of health? Definitely, we have two main components. Number one is physical health, which every day we look into. We need to eat, but because that is need that I need to eat. And you can see we need to interact with people. We need to do some exercise. We need to do sleep. We need some entertainment. So when I said about component of health, it's divided by two: physical health and also mental health. What is the mental health? Later we will look into that. But when you can see this picture, most of us, when especially on this pandemic, we still do some exercise. We still talking to our friends by phones and mobiles and internet and so on. And you can see the first lady in the middle of that, and she's like at some anger. That's also our part of a health. Because some people, when they have been at home, have been or they have a lot of work, what happened? They've been very stressful. So this is also we need to look into it. So when I said health, we have mental and also physical. So what exactly is mental health? Why we need to study about this issue, and especially as a student, especially when you become a student, you are living with a lot of stress. You are living with so much of struggle. You are living with so much of difficulties. But I say some students they're very happy, some students are not happy. Different situation, different people to handle it. So when I say about mental health, the main component, there are three things that you need to do. And that's why we relate with STEM. Because when you say it, STEM, it's a science. So how mental health are related to that? Because when I said science, because this is how we call component of mental health, which is how you think. How you think positively? How you think negatively? I give you one situation. I give you one situation. Now you are sitting in front of me. I don't know. I cannot see you, but you see this talk of component of mental health. What do you think? What comes to in your mind, and how the mind works to think about that situation? Huh? For example, I give you a situation. Now we are talking, we are discussing on mental health. When you see this picture, definitely you think something, and that is what we call cognitive mind. So your mind is thinking. Your mind is thinking something. Oh, this is Dr. Balan. This is Sandra. This is the morning. So you think on that way. So human being, normal human being, we always think. And you see, we think a lot. Day, morning, when you sleep, you sometimes people say you cannot sleep because it's still thinking. In the afternoon, night, and the process of thinking is happen. how this thinking happen, how we relate with science. When we call about thinking, it's related to a neuron in a brain. There is a lot of neurons are working together and it's interconnected. So that's why when the neuron are interrelated, what happened to you? You start to think. How fast the neuron works, how fast the neuron interact with each other, and your thinking will be more faster. That's why people say you don't think much. How do that work? Because when you are calm, in a calm situation, you relax situation, you don't think much. That means your neuron are very in a not interactive situation. That's why we need to practice all that also. So everything human, we think, and we divide the thinking in a three main component. Positive thinking. Do I think positive all the time? Do I think everything good for myself? For example, today I fail my exam. If for Balan, exam is a very important. I need to get A. If I never get A, what happened to me? I will think negative. Oh, gone. My exam is gone. I not. I shouldn't live anymore. I'm a very stupid person. For example, I give you a situation. I think that way. Because why? For me, exam is must get A. If I got a B or A minus, I don't accept that. That's how you think. Oh, I'm a stupid person. Your mind think negatively about yourself. If a person got a B, if a person got a B, he always get A. Sometimes he got a B, or suddenly he got a B. What he said? Oh, no problem. I will do it better. See, different person, different thinking. Do I think positive or do I think negative? And the next one, the third one, base thought. We call base thinking. Base thinking means what? I always think about my body. I always think about my color. I always think about my height, which you cannot change. And all this thinking involves energy. All this thinking involves energy. See, science come back, engineering coming into this mental health. So whenever I think, I waste a lot of things which I don't like. Yesterday's problem. Yesterday my mother scolded me. Oh, mother say this. I still think, and night I cannot sleep. Do you can change that situation? Can you change? Whichever your mother has scolded you, or you have said something bad to your mother, or you fight with your brothers, your sisters. Do you can change? We cannot change, but we still think, and that thing we call waste thinking, because you cannot do any changes. You cannot change anything situation. Some people, if I give an example, I can give you an example. If students they bit obese means quite fat, they always a bit worried, they scared, they feel very anxiety, they feel not good, they're not happy at all. So, but they never take any action. They never take any action, but they feel so sad about themselves. You can change that without any action and not. So that's how thinking is important. Then second thing is about your feeling. Feeling also, we have a happy feeling, a positive feeling, and negative feeling. Positive means you're always happy, excited. You feel you are welcoming everything. Negative thinking, feeling, you're always sad. You feel that you are not energetic. You're always a poor person. You're always a stupid person. You feel that you are bad. It's a negative feeling. And the rest on your action, because your action is that the fundamental of individual. When I say Balan, a Balan react to the thinking and feeling. You can see the dot in front when the three component integrated as a mathematics. You can see the mathematics first here, right? The three component when integrated, they become something good. When you always think something positive about yourself. But some people, some students, they never even think about positive about themselves. So what happened? The actions also will be bad action. What happened to your bad action? That also can be positive. That also can be negative. Positive action means what? You talk to people very nicely. You collaborate with them very nicely. You don't get angered to them. You always feel welcoming them. You talk to people also in a very soft way. If negative means what? You always get anger. You scold them. Even they never do any mistakes, you scold them. You feel that that action is make you happy. See, so that's why these three main component, everybody need to understand this. Because when I talk about mental health, it involves science, it involves mathematics, it involves engineering, it involves technologies. How do I react to my situation? How do I react to my situation? Today, my exam. Today is my exam. Tomorrow, how do I think? How do I feel? How do my action? And all these three main components are interrelated. If I want to do well in my exam today, I need to, my thinking should be positive thinking. How? I need to think that I can manage my exam for today's exam. I always think that will get A, and that thinking will influence your feeling. So when you think positive about yourself, what happened? You feel, oh, very good. Okay, I can study well. I can pass my exam because of my feeling are so happy. And what happened? You start to study very hard. That is your action. So see, these three important components are interrelated and it influence an individual's behavior. And it's opposite. If you're always feeling that think that you are stupid, you will never pass your exam, I cannot do well in my exam, what happened? Your feeling also you will feel very doubtful. Whether I can do well, tomorrow can I pass? So your feeling is kind of a anxiety. In Malay, we call bimbang. You feel the anxiety. Oh, tomorrow exam. Can I pass my exam? I always fail in my exam. So tomorrow, definitely I will fail. So that feeling makes you never sleep. But you change your mind. You change your cognitive thinking. Oh, tomorrow is exam. No worry. I can do the best. And that thinking and feeling will make you to work more harder. Oh, no problem. Last time I got B. This time I want to put more effort. The effort, the actions that you work today, it's come from where? From your mother, from your father, from your internet, from your computer, from your phone, from your friends? No, it comes from you. Where it's come from? From your mind. So when we keep our mind in always in a positive situation, what happens? Your feeling will be good. You will feel very calm. And what happened when you're calm? Your exam, when you sit the exam, very difficult exam also, you will feel very calm and you can answer well. So this is what we call mental health. And this is also physically, I already explained, emotional, social, spiritual and mental and behavior. And please remember all these six components are interrelated components. It cannot be alone. It cannot stand alone. Oh, my physical alone, my emotional alone, and social is alone and spiritual. How do you understand about yourself? Religions and spiritual are a bit different, but later maybe different classes. Maybe we can talk on that. Okay, and one other component that you remember when I said about this mental health issue, which is related with science. When you can see these all this man is there, you can see they're having some kind of work stress, family stress, friend stress. So when I said mental health, I already given you the component of mental health. So the main component of mental health also in a positive side, I always think good. And the negative side, there are many issues will come. Where what are the issues? Number one, about your stress, which everybody know. Oh, I got stress, but nobody understand what is stress. Okay, stress is something also on your feeling which is on your second component, which is related to your emotional. So when I stress, what happens to stress? Stress can be a positive stress and also can be a negative stress. Tomorrow exam, tomorrow I need to run 100 meter. I got stress today. And that stress is a motivation for you to work harder. We call positive stress. Tomorrow I need to run 100 kilometers. Oh, 100 kilometers is impossible. 1 kilometer or 100 meters you need to run tomorrow. What happened? You will be have some stress, right? That stress makes you to motivate you to more exercise, eat good food. So that stress is positive stress. But if tomorrow is exam or tomorrow you need to run 1 kilometer and today you feel so stressed, but that stress makes you lazy, you sleep. You don't want to study. Oh, tomorrow exam I got stressed, so I don't want to study. So that is not a become a motivation, it's become a failure for us. So stress can be something good or bad. But most of the time, stress give us more negative impact rather than a positive impact, because the motivation factor is only temporary. After your 100 meter, after the exam 100 meters, you don't have that stress anymore, because it's very short period of time. So it's a positive stress. But you prolong that stress. Oh, my exam, I didn't do well. I didn't do well. Yesterday's exam, you didn't think today. What happened? It's a waste thought. You cannot change your exam anymore. Your marks cannot be changed. It's already there. But a lot of people think on that last yesterday's 2 days ago, 3 days ago exams marks, and today I get stressed. And that stress will be a negative stress, because you cannot sleep, you cannot eat, you cannot do anything, you never even talk to your friends, because you feel so anxiety, you feel so depressed. So when I talk about mental health and how it related to the component of ourselves as a biologically factor, it affects so many other components. So when I said about stress, it's a dot of happiness. If you feel some action, some things that you feel not happy, whenever you do something and you feel not happy, that's what we call the dot of stress. Some people are different. Tomorrow exam, they're very excited, because they already trained, they're very good. So exam for them is not a stress. But for Balan, exam is a stress. So that's why again and again I say each and every individual are different. I cannot compare to Sandra, or Sandra cannot compare to Balan. I cannot compare to my mother. I cannot compare to. It's all individuality. So when I say stress, it's much component of your feeling and how much that you think and you feel about yourself. Maybe some of you can share later to me. How do you feel if you got tomorrow exam? Definitely you are stressed. But that stress after exam finish. But if you think about your exam, your result of your exam for 2 months or 3 months, it's a waste. And that stress never contribute to anything. And remember, stress, when you think something, you feel something bad, more than 2 weeks. Okay, I worried about my exam result. You were thinking you cannot sleep, more than 2 weeks, and that consider a chronic stress. It's another level of stress, which is bad stress for a physical. Remember, I told you stress. We have remember this component. Remember, I told you physical. So when people have a stress and more than 2 weeks, what happened? The body change. You can see, some people never can eat. They never can eat. They cannot eat. Some people they overeating when they got stress. They overeating. Some of them they cannot do anything because of the stress. And this is related to mental health. And you see, I already said stress can be a negative when it's prolonged. If it's prolonged, you think something which is not good for you, and you feel that you're not happy more than 2 weeks. It will give you more bad things for your physical. Physical means what? You cannot eat. What happened to your body? You feel and you feel you feel what? You feel tired, burnout. You feel burnout. You cannot do your work. You're not happy, right? You think of your result, but can you talk to your parents, to your friends? No. Socially, you will never interact because you feel sad, mentally exhausted. Because I said everything is energy. Spiritually, you even cannot pray. You cannot do good. I don't want to do something good because I feel anxiety. And your behavior of course, people can see the changes. Even you can feel you don't want to talk to anybody, you'll be in the room and so on. So stress is the main component. So really, I want all those who participate today. I want to pose a questions to you. I want to pose the question: how the psychology and STEM is interrelated? How this psychological aspect, which is on mental health, and how it related to STEM, and of course, it's related to the contributions to the educations and learning science and technology. That's how later we also will look into that. How this, when I talk about mental health, you can see this picture. Mother at home, she always got a lot of work. She have to manage that this, she have to go work, and she will come back with stress. And stress is a main component of mental health. So after 2 weeks, stress will become anxiety, the next level. Then from the anxiety, it will go to loneliness, and it will go to the next level, depression, and it will go to the next level, major depression, and the last stage of the stress is suicidal ideation. You think about die. You don't feel that good about yourself. See, stress started with very simple situation, but if it's prolonged, it go until people can suicide. You can see on this pandemic, a lot of young people die. A lot of people jump from building. They kill themselves. Where is the fundamental? Where it started? Why people dying? Why people suicide themselves? Where it start? It's not because of financial, because it's not because of education, it's not because of pandemic, but there is something make them not happy, which started with stress. And that stress can make people to kill themselves if no proper treatment, if no proper intervention, if no proper psychological help. That's why when I talk about this STEM, it's very interesting, science, biological, chemical within our body, and how it related to our mental health. And a lot of people, a lot of cases, later I show you the statistic also. And all this you can see. Now you are having it now, right? Computers, reading, books, always reading. Some people enjoy reading it, but they don't read books, they read novels, comics. Okay, right. But it's okay. You can do that. No harm of reading it. But you see, digital stress. This is also become a problem because I don't feel good when I see computers. I feel bad. But I cannot do much. I cannot change. I have to do it. And that is become now a literature saying, research been saying about digital stress, which is also become a main issues among students. And we try to cater all these issues also. And you can see, you can see in the family, whereby now those days I'm staying in campus, I go back to the college, I can see my friend. But now when you are in the home, there are more other stress because everybody running up and down, you cannot concentrate, you cannot focus on your studies, and your mother or your father, your brothers are disturbing you, and that also become a stress for you, and you feel anxiety, you rasa bimbang, you feel not good. And this is digital stress, you know. You start to do many things because you see students also complaining in the universities. Students complain, doctor, I have about 12 assignment to complete in within 2 weeks time. Doctor, I cannot sleep. I cannot sleep because I have to do my assignment. So that also makes students be very anxiety. So again, when you always think, you think and you can see the pictures, always think, what is your thinking? How do you feel and how you behave? Are you shouting to people all the time? Are you angry with people when you see them? That's also a issues. And this is the statistic that I want to show you. The mathematics, little bit on mathematics. Percentage of people of this mental illness, whereby 1 in 3 students reported prolonged periods of depression. So when I say depression is already in a very high level of stress. So when you can see 1 in 3 students, which is very high, but nobody bothered, nobody care because that is nothing important. My important is my result. I want to get an A. But when you think about something bad about yourself, and that depressions are already in a very high level of stress. And you see, 50% of no education on mental issues are prior to the college or schools. And this is statistics show that 50% of students not aware about their interventions in the college. They never even aware about their program of counselings in the schools or in the college. And you see, 1 in 4 students reported having suicidal thoughts. My God, this is bad. And this has been proven by research. 1 in 4, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 students are there. 1 of them have thinking of suicide. And especially on this pandemic, you can compare to countries like in India, in Indonesia, or big countries. You can see the suicidal rate, especially on this pandemic, drastically increased because people have no money, people have no job, people have no home, people have financially they broken, a lot of family been broken, a lot of divorce cases in the family, especially on this pandemic. And you can count, this is also a percentage. 30% reported problems with schoolwork due to mental health issue, which I already told you. 30%. And you can see 1 in 7 students engaged in abnormal reckless behavior. Reckless behavior means behavior, negative behavior. Like, for example, drinking alcohol, not drinking water, alcohol. You are taking drugs. You're involved with excessively video games. Excessively means after more than 6 hours, you're using your laptop, the computer for video game. It also can be abnormal, reckless behavior. Then also maybe some of us are watching pornography movies. You can see a lot of young generations. They enjoy because the internet is there and nobody can access to you and nobody is watching you. So pornography movie, and some of the students are also involved with sexual misbehavior. So this is what we call 1 in 7, which is considered okay, but we need to also think, okay, all this depression, mental health issues, which is all negative, we call mental illness. Remember this term. Whenever all positive means no problem. But when you think drinking, you're thinking that you want to take drugs, you're thinking on taking some medication because you want to enjoy yourself. All that is something not good for our thinking, and that what we call mental illness. And this statistic proven to us there are many people are also having an issue, especially on this pandemic. And these are the behavior that I already explained to you. The percentage depressions. This is a research been. What are the best described on mental health problem? Remember this, please. Your depression, your anxiety. Depression means that very high level of your stress, and it goes anxiety, which is 74, and you percentage eating disorder. Eating disorder, there are issues of the eating disorder, especially this is for ladies and girls. They eat a lot, but they omit back. Huh? Eating disorder, or they don't eat anything, or they overeating, and this is also a mental problem, mental illness. We relate with psychological problem. Eating too much or eating too less, and you eat and you want to omit it. Eating disorder, and we need treatment for them. All this depression, anxiety, eating disorder, behavioral and developmental, learning disability. Some people they don't like to study. When they study, they cannot remember, they cannot understand learning disability and other issues. And all these we call have mental illness. Even you have some problem of eating problem, it's not because of your eating, it's related to behavior, but it's also related to your mind, how your mind think about that eating. Whether you feel when you even eat little bit, you feel that you're already fat and you try to omit. And especially young teenagers, female students, they have this issue. Bulimia. Okay, so what are the signs which you need to look into this? What are the signs of your stress? Too worried, hair loss. Some of your hair is dropped. It's hard to sleep. You cannot sleep or oversleep. Hypersomnia, insomnia, refuse cooperation, the act of taking drugs, unstable emotions, and fear of problem. And all these become an issue for you to talk about that problem related to your stress. Okay, now, so I already discussed some component of mental health. And now we will see how we want to overcome all this mental illness, how we can do programs that that. So we in our psychology department, we also a website. This is related to the technology because remember this is a theoretical part of mental health. Now we will see how this mental health we put it in a technology form in order for us to understand how STEM can help us to assist our mental. I stop this presentation, but before that, if you have any questions you on this part, you can just put it in a web. I mean in chat. Then I will answer to you. Okay, I stop this presentation. Then I go to the next one. Sorry. Okay, wait. Can you see my slide? This website?
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much. So, okay, this is the website we call COVID-19 Psych Care, which is you can see C19psychcare.com. This is our website, which is created by ourselves. So, what we do here, this is what we do on from STEM perspective. About us, help people who are experiencing severe or enduring mental health impact from the COVID-19. It's not only COVID-19 now, after the COVID, also you can do that. What are the mental services that we are giving? What are the skills training that we give? So we have also, we can see this website. You can open now also if you have time. And this is our expert. This is our expert. And you can see my picture is there also. So I also want part of, I'm also the part of this team to help on mental health issues. So what we do, what are the services that we giving them? So these are our psych care, UMS mental health services. So we will help you with your problem. So of course I told you about stress. I told you about mental illness. You might have some stress with your friends. You might have problem with your parents. You might have a problem with your exam. You don't feel good, and you need some help. We really have very happy to help you for free. Some of them charges, but depend on the cases. So this is what we do. These are the services that we use. Psychological assessment, because whatever that we do, whether we want to identify you have bulimia, you have a stress problem, everything in psychology is science. So everything we have assessment. We are not just simply say, oh, Balan, you have this problem. We don't do that. What we do psychological assessment. Even though we are not a medical doctor, but we do some simple psychological tests to help in order to help the client, especially students who are having problems. What are the problems? Stress problem for academic, stress on their relationship, they have stress problem with their partners, they have stress problem with their financial, they might have stress problem with their neighbors. All these problems we divide according to the assessment, and we will determine what we can do. The next process, this is very important, counseling and psychotherapy treatment. Remember, I told you all the mental illness, like bulimia, I told you about anxiety, depression, everything, we give them a counseling services. It could be individual counseling, or it can be a group counseling, or it can be a family counseling. And what we do, we also skill training, because like students, some of you don't have any problem with counseling, and you just need some training. You want to choose which career that suit you well. You are now in form 5, form 6. You want to feel the right field, your right subject, right career which you want. So what we do, we also will give them counseling plus with skill training to build a social relationship, improving their social problem solving. So how to sign up? You can do all this. And how the site care UMS works. See, now when we talk about STEM, we're only not talking about theory. We are trying to apply that into technologies and with the concept of the concept of therapies and programs and all that. So this is charges if you really want. If you don't think so, these are the uh, uh, skill training that we give. The impact of COVID-19 on mental health and well-being, psychological distress and adjustment problem, because especially on your relationship problem, and you need some emotional support. So we're really happy. We're really happy if we can assist you all. So just don't take it very easy. You all can look something. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. And we also do this, especially in the process of counseling, especially students having issues of their emotional problem, depression, drugs problem. We use with CBT. You can that. Bibliotherapy, this is also, we have an expert on this, approaching typically alongside with traditional therapies modelists. And we have sand therapy, how to use sand. And with this sand, we try to release the stress of the client. Sand therapy, and with a lot of toys, we use that for sand therapy. This is also help. And we also very expert on stress management, especially those are students or parents. We have been doing many programs on the stress management, and you can also take exams, and you can take this training. Emotional management, we do also emotional management. Okay, for example, then we also have some videos for you to see. Manual video. Okay, let me see, where is the you can explore this website. You can explore this website, and let me see one example. Okay, so when you go to the stress management slide, module 6, you can see my I'm giving a training. I'm giving a training. You can watch on this how the stress first aid model with 5C. You can just watch this model on your stress, and you also can take some of the assessment on this part of the training. Okay, so Sandra, I think that's all, and maybe we can give more time for questions and answer. I stop sharing.
Thank you very much, Dr. Balan. It was very interesting and wonderful topics and very well presented today, as well as its relevance with the mental health and education amongst youth nowadays. So we have is there any questions from the audience? You can put it in the chat box in the YouTube. Um, is there any questions? There's a question from Sri Sarvin Rao. He said that having bad event almost for 1 year ago and still thinking about it, is it good?
Okay,
Having bad event.
what can I get some exactly what situation that he thinks? He thinks about incident, right?
Yes.
What type of incident that he's thinking?
Sri Sarvin Rao, can you elaborate more about your
Okay,
thinking?
let him have something incident, like incident of something which is bad. I think something bad. Maybe later you can chat to me also. If it's something bad and you've been thinking more than a year, and that is not really good. Because why? When you're overthinking, you're overthinking, and definitely, but like what I already told in my first lecture, that means when you think something bad, it definitely will give you impact on your thinking process, and it definitely will make you not happy, or maybe it will make you or not your action also can be burnout action. So thinking too long, maybe you need to meet some counselors or psychotherapists whereby they might assist you, or you always can always contact me for free. I can give you a consultation, but not for much money, but free type of psychotherapies, or I can see exactly how what is your situation and how we can help you. So I hope that I answered your question. What is his name?
Sri Sarvin.
Please, Ravin.
There is another question from Kishan's dad. He
Uh,
said that do stress have limitations when the person is being not treating for a long term, is not being treated for a long term, but he managed to keep himself to himself.
okay, stress need to be treated. Stress need to be treated. Treated means you cannot keep yourself. It's like a bomb. Huh? It's a silent killer. Stress is silent killer. That's why, and stress can be accumulated. So one person thinking, for example, he's thinking about his body. I'm very fat. I'm a very poor. Not a handsome person. Or I'm not pretty enough. You think and you become sad, and that stress can be accumulated. So when stress is accumulated, it will definitely burst. That's why when a lot of people got related to physical. Remember, I told you stress can give a physical effect, especially on your heart attack, on your diabetic problem, you got health problem. Remember, I told you the 6 component of mental health. Remember, so whenever when stress is not treated in a proper way, I mean, you cannot manage your stress well, it will give you some kind of other consequences, especially on the physical health. You might be very exhausted person. You always get anger. You always are not calm person. You always not be happy whatever you do, and it will definitely will give you a health issues when you in the long run. That's why you can see statistics shows a lot of people stress is like a silent killer. When they're 40, 45, they got heart attack, they got diabetic, they have they have heart problem. Why it's only 45, 50? It's not in young age. Even now, young age people got heart attack. But you see, this is also related when you are accumulating your stress without proper treatment. So my advice to anybody here, when you listen to this, using mental health, whenever you got problem, whenever you feel stressed and you're keeping too long, you need to get some kind of discussions or talking, because some people got taboo. They feel stigma. Oh, I'm not a problem person. I'm okay. And they don't want to share the problem to anybody. So my advice, my humble advice to all of you who are listening to me today morning, whenever you got stress and you feel the stress is too long, you need to get some treatment or psychotherapist treatment. Thank you, Sandra. I think I've answered him.
Okay. Yeah, that's a very good answer, doctor. There is someone said that he wanted to ask the name of the website because he is interested to know more about the website.
I will put it in web chat in chat room.
Okay.
Okay.
There's
Any other question?
another questions from Rukaya Hussein. She asked that, selamat pagi, Prof. Saya nak tanya, mak dan ayah saya adalah pesakit mental. Adakah saya atau anak-anak saya juga berpotensi untuk mendapat penyakit ini?
Okay, now some cases is heritated. Heritage means keturunan, akan diturunkan lah daripada father, mother. And kalau dia bukan mental problem, mental problem like schizophrenia, ada penyakit-penyakit it's not turun temurun. Not turun temurun. That means my father having, not necessary myself or my child have, not necessary. But the tendency is there lah. Chances heritage itu, keturunan itu got higher tendency to get. But it's not all the cases. So no need to worry too much on that. No need to worry, because remember, when we learn about mental health, the most fundamental is to be happy. No need to worry too much on the things that we cannot change, the things that I cannot help. So no need to, if you're too worried on that, and it become a stress for you. So try to avoid that, and the avoidance is below you. The avoid that is also you release all your negativity. Automatically, you will be okay. You will be good. Okay, to answer the question, some cases heritage is become can be bring out to your children and grandchildren and all that. But most of the cases no. Banyak kes-kes kita dapat tak. Tapi memang kajian membuktikan keturunan akan membawa penyakit-penyakit mental yang kronik. Yang normal one no problem. Tiada masalah. Okay. Any
Okay,
other question?
Doctor. Some said that I heard chocolate can reduce stress, but it might not work for those who got mental health. Is it?
Okay, chocolate, eating chocolates and coffee, drinking, it's how do you think, that's all. It's nothing much related to your stress release or not. Because some people, you see, when they stress, they feel they can eat chocolates and they feel release. Please eat. If some of you feel stressed and you feel want to drink coffee, please do that. If some people, they will feel stressed, they want to watch movie, please do that. So that means there is no regulation, there is no policy. This is I can do, this is I cannot do, this is what I follow. Because which I told you, each and everyone are different. Some people, when they stress, they like to go for jogging. If you can see, some people, when they got stressed, they like to do meditate. They do prayers. So, these sessions, maybe I cannot share what are the techniques of stress management, but there is no proven statistics proven or research being proven when I can eat chocolate or coffee or whatever and release my stress. Remember, stress is from what you think, how you react to that feelings and all that. So when you think, when I drink coffee, my stress can be released, I can be happy, please proceed. Nobody will stop you. But don't excessively chocolate. You take chocolate because this can cause you other effect. Do I answer his questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Some ask how to contact doctor.
Okay, so I can give you my email address to them. Then I already given you from the website.
Yes.
You always can see what are the service. This is if you personally have any issue, you always can contact my email, and definitely I'll give you some inputs on your mental health issues, especially on your exam and especially on this pandemic. Hey Sandra, any other questions, Sandra?
Currently now on the chat box, there is no other questions. Is there any questions from the audience? Other questions? Hmm. I think there is no other questions from the.
Okay,
no.
so we
There's
can.
there's one questions.
Uh,
Okay, from Muhammad Arif.
okay.
Dia tanya, ada seorang individu itu hidup dia asyik diarahkan membuat perkara yang tidak diingini seperti bekerja serta aktiviti yang tidak beliau menginginkan serta sosial dan politik. Apakah kesannya terhadap diri dia?
Okay. Apa saja aktiviti ya? Can I answer in Malay or English, Sandra?
I think in Malay also can.
Okay. So usually kalau kita membuat sesuatu aktiviti yang tidak kita sukai, definitely it will give you a stress. Macam tu, macam saya kata ada orang tak suka aktiviti tu, exam, dia buat and it will accumulate and give you another problem. So you try to avoid that. Okay, tapi ada orang gunakan you. Ada orang gunakan you, minta itu, minta ini, buat itu dan minta dan sebagainya. You need to be very careful lah. Kalau boleh, try to avoid. Kalau boleh, try to elakkan perkara tersebut daripada digunakan oleh orang lain. So you mesti tegas lah. This is what we call resiliency ataupun we call assertiveness. You always mesti berani mengatakan no. When you don't feel good, people say ask you to do this, you mesti berani say no. That one also we call assertiveness training. Assertiveness means you always believe in yourself and you always say no whichever activity that you don't like. That will make you more happier and more productive, and you become more reduce your stress.
Yes, doctor.
Okay.
Sri Sarvindra asks again, can we control our thoughts?
Can. Very nice, very good questions. Definitely can. How? How we can control our thoughts, because thoughts are neuron, right? Science is like moving and it's connecting each other. But we can control that with checking. There are many strategies, many ways we do that. But the basic things that you can do to control your thinking is your controlling your breathing. Pernafasan. You check on your breathing. Whenever you check on your breathing, and it's too fast, your thinking also too fast. That's why people say when you want to be calm, check on your body or you count 1, 2, 3, 4. Why we do that? Because we want to make sure that I become a calm. Calm here means what? You are checking on your breathing is not too fast. When your breathing is zero, I mean you reduce your breathing to the zero level, alpha level, what happened? Your thinking and your thoughts are not too much. You can control your thinking. So how to do that? You need to do, number one, you need to practice to control, to check on your breathing all the time. You need to do that practice, and you must be consistent on doing that. Consistent means what? Morning, evening, night. You need to think always positive, and you need to think that you can manage your thinking, the thoughts, not too much. When your thoughts is not too much, you can think better, you become more focused. That's how we can do. And there are many other strategies, but this is basically easy things. There are many meditations are doing that also. Your breathing, control your breathing, and your breathing control will make sure will make your thoughts will be in a more control level. But you need practice. Okay, Sandra, that's all I think for today morning.
All right, Prof. There is one more questions if you
Okay,
can
please.
answer. Okay. Adakah pesakit skizofrenia boleh sembuh?
Okay, schizophrenia boleh sembuh, tak ada masalah. But mesti ambil treatment. Sebab treatment itu yang sesuai dan yang berlanjutan dapat mengurangkanlah kesan-kesan daripada skizofrenia itu. Sebab kalau nak sembuh sepenuhnya itu there is no proper research on that. So, tapi bila kita dah treatment, kita dah mengambil ubat, definitely it will be in a very control level lah. So kalau dengan proper treatment, proper medication, dengan rawatan yang awal dapat membantu seseorang.
Okay, thank you, Dokter.
Okay, thank you so much, Sandra. Cannot hear you, Sandra.
Thank you so much, Doctor. We hope you all enjoyed this amazing and interesting presentation by our wonderful speaker today. The link for registration and e-certificate is now being shared for school students and UMS students. Please fill in your details and answer the simple feedback questionnaire. All students will receive e-certificate and UMS students will receive SDP point. Okay. Thank you again, Doctor, for answering those questions and for the amazing presentation. And thank you also to all the audience for your participation. We look forward to seeing you in the next STEM speaker series. And it was a pleasure to have all of you with us today. With that, we conclude this webinar. Thank you and see you again.
Thank you so much, Sandra. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Take care and hope to see you very soon. Bye.